should have just gone up. Just waiting for people to get into the lobby here. Got a couple more people waiting to join. By the looks of things. Should have 20. Yep, Mitchell just got him. Well then. Yeah, we should have a full 20. Hello, Saeed. How's it going? Just waiting for everything to sort itself out right now. So I'll go and close my door. So everything going on outside of my room doesn't turn into an absolute mess. Going all right. Good. Are you racing tier 4? In a minute or so. What is going on? Just waiting for everyone to actually decide what the hell they're doing. It just seems like this is going absolutely horribly between people right now. Got a minute or so to, before we actually do anything, in terms of actually. Looks like it's tier 4 decided to have a meltdown. Actually, going to bring up the tier 4 stream in a moment. But yeah, waiting for everyone in tier 1 to establish what they're doing. Just Well then, what on earth is going on? Seems like Tier 1's just had an absolute mess of a start. We just, go to private stream and support me. Okay. What on earth is going on? Wait, is Rigo not racing? God, no. Why did people leave it till 8 o'clock to actually... Alright. People seemingly, unable to get themselves coordinated by 8 o'clock. This is just chaos, man. Seems like we were still waiting. Still waiting on someone, people to actually get things sorted out. Shouldn't be too far away from actually going. Oh, he's in. Yeah, Samet's in. Alright. Looks like we're all but ready to go then. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. At this point, I have absolutely no idea. Alright, it looks like we're finally going at Tier 1. Took a while. Took a long while. But yeah, we might be ready. We might actually be getting ready to set back up. Everyone ready to go? I'll load my telemetry up as well. Got about 18 minutes on the clock. There you go. So that's up. In terms of rain, we should actually not be able to see any rain. Interesting. So we've got a spa, and there's a spa without rain. Pull full track map, telemetry. Well, everyone's going to do it on softs or so. You would like to believe. Going down the grid, anyone already heading out? Doesn't look like it. No movement yet. A minute into quali. should be able to see someone come out. Why did it just reset itself to 18 minutes, quality? What's going on? Wow, it looked like we managed to get started then. Right, looks like we're actually going to be able to go. It looked like Staber, our well, I think he's third place at the moment in the championship. Yep, Staber currently 16 off the lead. 16 points off the lead. 11 points behind BR4. No, 5 points behind BR4, who's 11 behind Mitchell. Also got a few more out on their laps as well. Couple going into the start of Sector 2 that might need to pick up an idea what space is by the end of the lap. Wait and see if they're able to do that. But Staber's got essentially the rest of the track to himself. Will be ready to have a watch of Staber's first lap here. Hello to everyone actually deciding to join the stream. Staber warming up his tyres. Realistically, it's a conga line. It certainly is, but it looks like they're starting to separate, which is good news. Always is good news. People giving each other space on quali laps. No one to blocking penalty in quali. Staber getting himself very much warm tyres as he goes wide in the final corner and starts the first lap of qualifying. Lewis not that far behind him. Goes through La Source and up into fourth gear coming out of La Source, and you got people backing up through the bus stop chicane to give each other more time by the looks of things. Someone else has actually gone into the pits, I think. Might have caused something, might have gone wrong for a minute there. But nonetheless, Staber down towards the end of the first sector. First sector time being a 29.7. It doesn't look like it was the greatest of turn-ins at the end of the Kemmel Straight. And but it's still a valid lap so far. Goes into probably the hardest part of Belgium, I think. This particular part of the track, the end of the Kemmel Straight, that chicane, and then down through the beginning of Sector 2 certainly gives us the most challenging part, I think. Especially considering our rouge is never usually as bad as it can be in real life. Despite the fact that this track is relatively iconic, it's never usually put trade in these games. It's never usually the greatest of tracks. Let's hope that the race today is proving us otherwise. Staber going to come up, possibly catches up to that Red Bull at the end. A little bit of traffic if he does. Don't think he will actually. Nope, he's got a clean shot this Staber. So what's the first go at this then? 41, 42, 43, 43, 5 is not particularly that impressive, I don't think. 44-2 for Lewis. Someone spun it there, I think. Yeah, I think either that or they're just letting every single person in a half-mile radius going through. Not entirely sure which one it is. Well, we'll go and watch the current championship leader. He goes through, might only just have a chance to win this. I think the only way Mitchell doesn't win this race is if he spins. But being the fact that, being part of his practice yesterday, Wouldn't surprise me too much if he did lose the car. I know he was having problems with stability. Don't know if he's been able to fix them since. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not entirely sure who that's for. To go through La Source, someone's had a problem. Not entirely sure what that problem is. It looks like the Ferrari may have gone a little bit too deep as well. But Mitchell going through the second sector, 149. A little bit pronto. It just no, it wouldn't be that surprising. I don't think it would be that surprising. But then again, I'm in a party with him more often than not. So, oh, it looks like Alfa Romeo. Oh no, the Alfa Romeo is just letting everyone go on through. See what Mitchell's going to do here. 43.1. It's not enough for pole yet. Provisional pole 43.0. Right now is the lap done by Joe in the Alfa Romeo, looking to cement himself a place firmly at the top. Should probably open up the YouTube so I don't have half comments on my screen. Joe in the pits. Bambino also did a 43.3. Saber's lap holds up enough for 4th right now, but he's probably going to be wanting a lot better than that. By the way, just looking at time trial, Joe will win by miles. Time trial's never usually a good parameter though, is it? We all know this. We've seen it plenty of times before where the supposed favourite for a race just doesn't get it going, or just doesn't keep his car in a straight line, and it always opens the door for someone else. But Joe, well, we've seen Joe as a supposed favourite in some of these races for a while now. It's been a running factor, especially during the last season, where Joe was not able to keep his car in a straight line. So let's see if that narrative continues on into today. I think Ross just goes a little bit too deep into, and slides the final corner as well, so it's not going to be impressive. 44.2. What about Alu? Alu's invalidated lap. Mitchell heading towards... He did win in China, yeah? No? He did. More like 3 tenths, and that was downforce with kind of hard downforce. So if he's using that, he's going to be doomed in the race. That might be the case. Might be the case. Wait and see. And in 7th, talking put it in the message in chat. Currently in 7th, 43.6. Probably needs to pick up a couple of attempts himself. I'm pretty sure I thought the times would be a little bit faster than what we've had so far. I thought it'd be in the 42s by now. Wish you could join and spectate. It would be... I'm a bit too late to ask to join on commentary like, but yeah. I think we also already have 2 spectators. Rigo is spectating as well. It looks like Samet going up to the end of the Kemmel Straight now. We watched Samet's outlap, so it's only fair that we stick to his flying lap as well. Got a couple other people on outlaps right now. Ross finished his lap not that long ago. Lewis just started a lap by the looks of things. Also got people like Mitchell, Joe and Bambino all heading out on outlaps right now. Also now AlphaTauri backing off and letting 2 horses on through. BR4 43.5 at the moment, just behind Mildy and just behind Staber. And we know Mitchell, Staber and BR4, the 3 current championship contenders. Yellow flag in sector 1, I think, is an Alfa Romeo. I don't know which one it is. It might have just been Tepos coming out of the pit lane, actually. Joe's just about to start another lap. We'll go to Joe's lap immediately after Samet. He comes through into the beginning of sector 3 now. Let's see whether or not he's going to be able to really put a decent time in. We've seen Samet have a bit of potential in some of these races before, but Nothing too substantial up to this point. Maybe this is the time he gets to turn his season around. Goes 42, 43, 44, 44, 8. Not particularly great. Let's have a look at what Joe's doing as he goes through to the end of Sector 1. Now into the chicane. The red of the Alfa Romeo. Heading down the hill. He actually goes up into 5th gear there instead of what other people usually do and drop it down a gear or two. Like how my internet's stable now. I have no idea what's going on with your internet, mate. I have absolutely no clue. We'll see where Joe is in terms of trying to beat his prior time. As he comes through the end of Sector 2 now. Just flinging it all into all these corners. And he's currently a 10th and a half up, but his lap is invalidated. We're actually going to watch Bambino's, the rest of Bambino's lap now then. He currently sits himself about half a tenth quicker. Elite did a 43.4. Time seemingly slowing down to what we had at the beginning of the year. I remember the beginning of the year I did something very close to what Joe did, I'm pretty sure. But I think that's a comparison we can make at a different point in time. Bambino currently half a second, or just shy of a half a second clear of his prior time. It would be enough for provisional pole. Joe's gone back into the pits to get himself started for another run. Mitchell's also on a run. Elite's going to go back into the pit. BR4 on a run as well. We'll go to the end of BR4's lap immediately after this. Bambino around the final corner now. 39, 40, 41, 42, 42.9. Is another 10th in the bit. I think just clear of Joe it is. That's the first 42 we've seen all day. Bambino looking to stamp his claim this time round, but BR4 also just about enough to get himself close to, well, just about enough to beat Joe and close to the Ferrari, who's currently got provisional pole. Elite's coming in. Didn't really do an awful lot better. Jackson validated his lap. J-Ray has done too. Ross, I don't think did much better the last time round. Let's see if he's attempting a lap now. But there's a few people that's got a good shot at today, and right now BR4 is the only one in the top 3 that is currently in the top 3 of qualifying. But let's see what Ross can do. He goes down toward the end, down the hill now, just at the beginning of the second sector. See if he can improve on that 44.2, maybe up his place by a few slots. He's going to have to go probably at least a second better than he currently is, so we'll see whether he's up for that task or not. Everyone, the reasonable time here looking to be about the 43.4s. Well, that's what is currently done by 5th and below. Ross right now a 10th, just over a 10th and a half clear. Certainly in the fastest second sector. Yellow flags up ahead. A few people coming into the pits now. It's still at Yarlow, Tepos, Jag out on the track right now. Also Lewis as well. I think Yarlow's just gone into the pits. Ross is just about to finish his lap up now. He's gone 41, 42, 43, 43.7. It's certainly positive. Jag's going to come into the pits. Tepos is currently 2.3 seconds down. So the two Mercedes are the guys we're going to focus on right now, and can't tell what Ross is doing. Oh, I think Ross might have just spun it. But yeah, we'll go back to his. We'll go back to Lewis, going through the second sector now on his outlap. Him and Alu, the only ones realistically left. I think Ross's qualifying is done because of that spin. Joe's gone out for his lap now, so he's trying to, I guess, avoid the traffic. So did Bloodwave. Elite followed those two out. So we should be in good sight. Well, we'll know where Joe puts himself pretty early on. The two Williams follow out Elite, followed by Mildy. And it looked like Lewis was not quicker. Even though that was an outlap, never mind, my bad. Just looked at that and caught that in glancing, but that's my own fault. But here we go on his actual outlap, his final real shot of this. Alu just about to cross over the line for his last shot as well. You know, Joe and Co not that far back. Lewis is going to go down to the end of the first sector now. He is 2 tenths, about a quarter of a second up on his prior time, but he needs to be a little bit more than that to get a good position here. He's about to hit oncoming traffic. We're about to see whether or not that oncoming traffic is going to let people through nice and fairly. It looks like Tepos may have had a bit of an incident out of the pit lane. Not entirely sure. I think he has. That's Joe coming up to the line now. Here we go, down into the end of, well, through the chicane, and Tepos is out, so he's very clearly seen that his qualifying is done. His crash caused that. Lewis is currently nearly 7 tenths clear, so he's on course for 43.5 to this point anyway. Go to Joe afterwards. M's going to crash. Now that would be normal service resumed if he did. We're not in a Middle Eastern country, so there's not usually ball ground, but here comes Lewis up to the line. He was on course for a 43.5. He's gonna actually get a 43.7. Lost a couple of tenths there, and well, that's not good news for him. Joe not quicker through sector 1. He's got to pick it up. He's on his final shot. You got Bloodwave not that far behind, and I think it's Elite, the Red Bull behind Bloodwave, and then we'll go back as we go along. And I think Joe just invalidated. Joe did just invalidate. So now we get to watch Bloodwave, who is again not quicker through the first sector. This track seemingly not ramping up. It looks like right now Bambino's time might be safer than he first thought. 42.9, very different to what we had before. And Bloodwave now half a second clear. Joe's on the track, and he's messed that up badly. His car's sideways, so he spun it round, and yeah, that's never a good sign. It invalidated means it was he was done anyway. Bloodwave coming around the final corner now. J-Ray's out of the session as well, in the same place as Joe just did it. Bloodwave over the line. 43.2. Elite's come into the pits. So it's Mildy, the one that's going to come over the line next. It's a good lap from Bloodwave. It's only enough for 5th, though. We still have 3 more shots at the 3 guys with realistic shots at the pole position. I can't speak position here. Mildy over the line now. 43.4 is enough for 6th. There's someone else heading over the line. Trying to find out where we actually are, whether it's Jack next. It is going to be Jack next, and then Samet behind him, I think, who's just gone into the pits. Jack did a 43.7. Heisenberg, BR4, not enough, certainly not enough. And Mitchell over the line. Mitchell's done it, a 42.8. I think that's got to be qualifying pole for qualifying. Heidelberg lap is not quicker. Staber does a 42.9 as well. Only enough for 3rd, but they're very, very close. Top 3 within a 10th, and the last one over the line gets an extra couple of places, but nowhere near pole. So, championship leader, pole position in Belgium. Bambino almost looked to be home dry, but Not to be. Gonna start on the front row alongside Mitchell though. The Ferrari, second place. Staber, currently third in the championship, currently third on the grid as well. The AlphaTauri 42.984, just over a tenth actually, splits the top three. Then you've got BR4 43.055, Joe 43.065, fourth and fifth. Bloodwave also not putting in the worst laps I've ever seen. He currently sits himself in sixth and starts seventh, which is probably better than we may have thought would start. We're going overcast, but it's not going to rain. Or at least not by predictions, anyway. But then again, I have seen that change multiple times. Seemingly most prominent in the Nations League event that we just had not that long ago, 13 seconds. Then we go on a formation lap, and then a 50% race round Spa. One of, if not arguably, the most iconic F1 track. It's probably up there with the likes of Monaco and probably Silverstone as well. But I think this formation lap gives us a proper time to go through what we have as a grid for this race. So Mitchell, oh, something's happened in the mid-pack. That's just not gone well at all, has it? Prix going to start on really, really cold tyres, and all three of them are medium, so it's not going to affect them all that much. But I guess there has to have been some sort of collision through the first couple, and Elite got, when Lewis got collected by it. So we got 1 on the soft, 4 on the hard tyres, mainly toward the back of the grid, plus in 7th, and everyone else on the medium tyre. 3 disqualified so far from the formation lap, which is not going to help their cause. Might help those behind him. If you're Jack and you're Ross, you're looking to get a good start to try and boost your position as far as you possibly can. The 3 in front are going to have cold, stone cold tyres by the time everyone's waltzed their way around the track, and it looks like Mildy's almost lost his car too. Just about getting away with that. Don't think soft medium will work. It's debatable. It's worked before. It certainly has worked before. You can do a 50% race. You can do a 50% race on the softer mediums. You are pushing it. I don't know whether or not they still have the pace as they did in early game though. I think that's what everyone's got in mind. No, around this track, soft medium used to be doable. I don't know if it still is, but it used to be doable. Your tyres would be about 78-ish% by the time you're done on both stints, and Milty's just having a nightmare here. Mediums were dead after 6 laps. That's changed quite. I was about to say that's changed quite a lot then, because it was doable. I swear. The formation, the evaluation race. That's the word I'm looking for. For ALR was done here, and it was possible to be done by soft to medium. And here we go. 5 red lights, and it's lights out. Away we go. There you go. It's way too late. Erd's got such a poor start. What the hell is going on? And Bambino's got a great start. He's going on the long way on Mitchell to start, and he's got in front. I think a couple people caught out from where the actual lights went out, but that was a weird look. Lewis and Jaguar are going to go at it. We'll go further back. Ross and Jaguar fighting as well. Yarlo and J-Ray, and we've got a few people fighting it at the back here. We're going to watch a couple people go down the Camel Straight before we switch up. Who's at the... Something's happened at the front. Something has happened at the front, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. Staber and Mitchell have dropped a few places. Mitchell's gone. Mitchell has lost the front wing. Something bad's help happened to him. Staber and Heidelberg going at it as well. Staber's got a damaged front wing. Elite's going to try and take advantage of that. I think something must have happened between Staber and Mitchell then, as we go through and we see, I think it's Ross and Lewis in the background here, and Elite's going to get past Staber eventually. So Bambino has an 0.8 of a second gap to Joe, who has a 1.3 second gap to Bloodwave, who's already looking a little bit off the pace. Ross going to go down the inside there as Staber, and it works pretty nicely. Staber might be out. I think I'm shocked that that car is still functioning. I am very shocked that that car is still functioning. That was a pretty big shunt. It looks like Heidelberg's right up the rear of Mildy right now. The two Haas and two Aston Martin go against each other. It looks like a Mercedes back there's having a bit of a problem. Jaguar, Mitchell and Staber all into the pits now. Lewis had a bit of a problem through the bus stop chicane. Never going to be nice. I don't really know what's going on in terms of this timing sheet down my left-hand side here. I can almost promise you that's not true. I don't think we're already minute 51 behind and back again. I think Mildy is just about to be overtaken by Heidelberg. The Haas just in front as well. Probably helping his teammate a little bit. And Mildy got into the grass. And that's going to allow for a Spectre to go on through as well. Maybe a little bit argy-bargy, but I don't think a lot happened to Mildy there. Maybe just lost the car. Maybe a bit of a tap that I haven't properly seen has pushed him a little bit wide. But it didn't look too bad there, and Mildy just having a bit of a problem. Lewis and Alu going at it. Teammates for the day at the very least, just going side by side, and one of them's gone very, very deep into Pouillon. And he's lost the position. I think Alu's lost the position to Lewis as a result of it as well. We've got a little bit of a train forming. Joe also at the front trying to close that gap to Bambino, doing it a little bit, but probably going to have to make a bit more of it. Game's saying medium to hard. I don't know. Staber's gone soft to hard pretty much immediately. Yarlo versus Lewis, and Lewis has got deep again. Or is that Yarlo versus Alu? I'm not entirely sure. No, it's... Oh! Yarlo gets hit in the back by Alu. Never mind. There's the other Mercedes. Jesus. Out of nowhere. A little bit too late on the brakes, maybe. It was Lewis versus Yarlo to begin with. I think Lewis has managed to keep that one going. Yarlo just about survived a little bit of a tap in the back from Alu as well. Heading up the straight, Mitchell versus Jaguar. These two are going to go side by side as we go through the bus stop chicane, and I think Jaguar with better line is going to hold off the reigning world champion and the current title leader as well, who probably hoping for a much better time than the one he's currently having. We go further up the grid again as people are... Oh, Lewis's car looks a little bit squirrely there, and Yarlo's going to take advantage down the inside. And he's going to get himself in front of that Mercedes, and he's got it himself cleanly in front of that Mercedes as well. And I think Mitchell has finally got the move done on Jaguar up into the end of the Camel Straight. Yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, and it's Jaguar that's gone round. I'm not entirely sure what happened there between him and Mitchell, but I think Mitchell... I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Mitchell got in front, but he did eventually due to a spin. And that puts Jaguar right at the back of the grid. Yarlo also trying to chase down J-Ray here. The front of the grid at the moment not looking all that exciting. Albeit Mildy versus Spectre. They go down into the bus stop chicane is It's close. It's definitely close, but it's not a move going to happen. Joe gets the fastest lap despite now being over a second behind Bambino, who's taken control of this race, especially as mistakes from Mitchell and Stabers definitely line him up in a great position. It looks like Mildy is going to have a closer shot than Yalo at the moment. Mildy going to get DRS on Spectre and should get this move done rather easily down the Camel Straight. Pulled alongside, and he's in front. Is he going to pull back across? He does. He does have that position in that case then, as they enter the end of the Camel Straight. And it looks like Yalo is going to do the same thing here to J-Ray, just the long way around. It looks like the two Mercedes behind are also going to have a little bit of a battle. J-Ray having now to defend from both the Mercedes, and he's not done it too well. As one of the Mercedes, Lewis, just sent it down the inside, and it's a pretty decent move. However, he's got to watch it because he can't be more than one warning away from a penalty at this point. It looks like Hermanalu going at it through Fion as well, as he's managed to get a move done. Gets one Mercedes, now looking at the back of a Williams. Also looks like Joe got a lot better of a lap than Bambino did, as they are currently heading towards the bus stop chicane. 0.8 of a second split those two. Joe will have DRS again. Looks like Mildy also just about holding on to his position through the bus stop chicane. Might be one interesting one to take a look at up into Rouge. And it looks like here I'm going to give J-Ray you got to get both on the hard tyres, so the tyre advantage doesn't exist, and Samet gets past Jag. Trying to late break this and doesn't get too great of an exit. And it looks like J-Ray is going to build a little bit of a gap now. We're going to head further up the grid. The two horses trying to fight it out. Not close enough. And Elite versus Mildy. Elite's going to do the reverse of what Mildy did to him on the last lap and gets it done before the end of the Camel Straight. And that was pretty nicely done by Elite. Got a little bit of a gap now as well. It's also 7/10 at the front of the race. It's also trying to close, also seeing a gap close between both Haas drivers, bearing in mind that both of these Haas drivers were teammates last season in the Alfa Romeo. And we all know what happened there. The tail went down to the Japan, the incident where one teammate didn't move for the other cost one the championship. It looks like down the back, finally got J-Ray, and it looks like every sort of battle going on there has just started to, just ceased for the moment in time. Jaguar gets past Staber as well at the back of the grid. Mitchell very much clear of both of those two right now. Gained 11 seconds from where he was after the crash on the first lap. Staber compounding one mistake with another on lap 1 has really ended his race prematurely. And he's going to need a safety car if he realistically wants to do anything here. Got a couple of 5/10 gaps heading through Rouge and then up through Radion. And then with DRS we might see something happening. Heidelberg's got a very good run up the hill and through the Camel Straight. Gonna go down the inside. Teammates again, and it looks like Heidelberg backed out of that one. Yellow flag in sector 1. It's a Mercedes. Alu has gone round. Jag picks up 3 seconds just in front of him. Might be in connection of having to try and move out the way, but 3 seconds nonetheless. Two horses had backed out of fighting each other through the Camel Straight. They look to try and take the position of Bloodwave on the bottom step of the podium right now. And, well, for BR4, this could be a huge day. This could be a huge day. Monaco next, followed by Baku, as when we come back from the winter break. It could be huge. Right now, he's in a very good position. I think he might be on top of the championship if it ends like this as well. BR4, so it'd be 25, 18, 15, 12. Yeah, he would be 1 point clear. So it wouldn't be a smooth sailing, but he would still definitely be clear, and Heisenberg would drop him back behind Mitchell if he managed to make a move. A lot of championship implications at the moment. Also, we got to actually, I didn't even realize this, but we've got a proper fight for the lead of this race right now. Joe, if he can get a good enough run, might be able to take Bambino here. He's got about 3/10 of a gap, but he's got to get a good run. He doesn't get that great of a run. It looked like they actually might have gone slightly in the favor of Bambino. Bambino looking to break the toe down the kettle straight. Joe trying to pull alongside, doesn't get it. And Bambino might have weathered the storm for a little bit longer. Wasn't sure if it was a mistake or just good driving from Joe the Boyman originally, but it looked like Bambino has weathered the storm for now. It looked like Bloodwave has managed to hold off BR4 for a little while longer as well. Yarlo overtaken by on this lap, but now 2.5 seconds behind Lewis and a long way in order to catch that one up. Something happened to off the start as well, because he did start 7th, and wouldn't have been the greatest of starts to see him drop quite a distance. I think that might have been a warning there for Bambino. A little bit too deep at the start of the 3rd sector, and he's gone a little bit deep again. I don't think it's a new championship battle, but it certainly is a new battle for the race, for a race win, and it's another mistake by Mercedes. Also a mistake by Jacko in the 3rd sector. He spun it round. He's going to drop all the way back behind his teammate. He might be requiring a new front wing. If you crash there, it's never usually good. Stable also having a mistake up Eau Rouge by the looks of things. Yellow flag brought out there. Yeah, but they're also quite a considerable way back from everyone else that is currently in the title fight. Staber's crashed again. Staber might be about to be lapped. It's not gone well for the current 3rd placeholder of the championship, as his race might be coming to a very abrupt end. And we still see the current, the current race win battle right now between Bambino and Joe. They tried to push themselves into a title battle right now where BR4 is still just about edging, because Mitchell had a mistake early on. It looks like there's been a mistake, or might have not been a mistake, but Ernst lost the position. And Alu has DNF, so he's retired in the pits, and that's Staber. That's Staber pulling off to the side. And 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limit seems a tad bit unfair. But I think that might be the end of Staber's race as well. Yeah, Staber's going to pit almost as soon as he gets to the end here. He's either get disqualified or pit, whichever one comes first. He's just pulling off to the side, letting everyone through. Joe not really able to get that close yet. Also seeing Jag trying to get there. Did Bloodwave just pit? Bloodwave did just pit, which is very interesting. We've got another mess up here. Staber's gone another 10 seconds, and I think Jagger's messed up here, and here comes Mitchell. A flying Red Bull looking to make up for mistakes earlier on in the race. It looks like Jag's managed to save his car at the very least. But Mitchell, going the long way round, has sent it into the bus stop and has managed to get the move done pretty nicely. Staber, for some reason, hasn't actually DNF'd, but left the lobby instead. And Bambino's had a problem. Bambino spun it. Bambino spun it. Oh, the beginning of Sector 2, and that might have just killed the front of this race. Bambino now trying to fight off well, try and bring a fight to Mildy. Drop to 5th. It's and that's why there's not a new championship battle, Jack. Mistakes riddle both of them. Joe managed to win in China. He probably is looking in a very good position to win here as well. The mistakes is probably not going to make that one. Well, it's not going to help Bambino. It might introduce 3 seconds for Mitchell, as Mitchell tries to hunt down Ross at the back. Well, near to the back, currently in 14th. We've got a few battles opening up, and it looks like Heidelberg might be about to send on his teammate. These two were going to go battle in there. I'm not entirely sure why Heidelberg's gone to battle him. If BR4's pitting there, why has Heidelberg gone to battle him? Surely you would just wait until the end of the lap. And okay. That's an interesting choice. It puts Heidelberg in the lead of the race. Elite followed by Bambino, who looked to be in control, looked to be fighting Joe, but those two were certainly in control of this one. But nonetheless, mistakes are made. And Joe now behind his Alfa Romeo teammate. But right now in the lead of the race, BR4 got to get a move done on him here, and he doesn't get it done. He looked to the inside and probably defended it quite nicely. I only caught the end of it, so I can't exactly say to be certain. It looks like Mitchell gets past Lewis in the process. So the yellow flag is sector 1. I think that's Bloodwave. It is Bloodwave that's messed up. The end of the Camel Straight's got another person. We saw it in Sprint claim Donny. We've seen it now claim Bloodwave in Tier 1. A battle going on here. BL4 losing a little bit of time here on them. That's probably more to do with the tyre and the tyre temps itself than the skill, because we've seen BL4 be at the centre of attention for the championship for the last couple of years now. In comes Heidelberg, in comes Elite, in comes Bambino. I guess Tepos is going to join them. And Tepos does join them. Definitely not the case for and here comes BR4. Had a little bit of a problem there, looked a little bit squirrely, opens the door for BR4. And well, if you open the door for someone as talented BR4, it's going to be taken every single time, every day of the week. And Joe is, well, BR4's got out in front of Heisenberg there. Elite currently in 4th. Bambino also currently in 5th. Did get back in front of Mildy. Here comes Heidelberg on the new tyres, gets it done with the DRS on BR4. The two Haas drivers going at it again. We're not getting team orders, and we're certainly not getting any sort of favoritism between the two of these guys. And down the inside goes BR4. It's not clean. A little bit of a shove through, a little bit of a tap, and that might be a little bit of a warning as well. But these two very clearly driving like there's a bit of animosity between the two of them. We'll continue the narrative, because it's certainly been continued on. Now BR4's got a full-time seat again. He's got a real shot at the championship. Currently in 2nd. Mitchell currently sits himself in 11th. Got to get a move on. Staber's in AI, and somehow, for some reason, didn't actually DNF his car. Yellow flag in sector 2 is an Aston Martin. Bloodwave gone again. We're still watching the Haas battle as these two are going hammer and tong at each other. Heidenberg is still not able to get fully past his teammate, who's held him off for a little bit longer than he would have anticipated. J-Ray into the pits now. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. It's for Bloodwave yet again. Mitchell goes into the pit for a second time. I assume onto a second set of medium tyres. Jerry also in the pits. Mitchell goes on to hard tyres, and here comes Heisenberg again with the use of DRS. Should be quick work. It is quick work. And I don't think BR4 is going to be able to send a comeback almost as immediately as he did on the prior lap. BR4 not as close as he was. Heisenberg looks to have made it a lot better. Bill Bloodway speeding in the pits and DNFs. And it looked like Heisenberg managed to get the position properly this time. And he's going to have to fend off his teammate. BR4 currently in the position for 15. Got a yellow flag. And it looks like it's a McLaren again. It is a McLaren again. It's Jag who's, well, very clearly lost his front wing. Wow, that looked a bit devastating. That one. That would look like a car was in a heap in a wall. Somehow lucky to keep it going again. We've seen a number of those so far. No actual crashes worthy enough of bringing out a safety car yet. I'm quite frankly rather surprised. BR4 losing out quite well, I say quite nicely. Quite heavily, sorry. To Heisenberg. 1 second between the two of them. Samet and Ross also fighting it out. We saw those two going through LeBlanchemont about not that long ago, and it looked like Ross has managed to clear Samet very quickly. And Samet has dove into the pit, so it is a hard, medium-looking race for everyone. Tepos goes on through. He's going to have to still survive against Lewis. It looks like Bambino is going to try and chase down Elite. Elite currently in 4th place. Well, net 4th place, shall I say. And it looks like Bambino's about to come here and steal that off of him. They go down to the end of the Kemmel Straight. Maybe a late break. No, he's backed out of it. Maybe not close enough to begin with. He's going to have to try and maneuver a way through. BR4 now outside of DRS range on Heisenberg, who's absolutely flying right now. Still has to pit. He's going to drop a considerable margin when he does eventually come into pit. Maybe towards the end of the top 10. It looks like Mitchell right now in 16th. The title just taking a swing in the direction of the Haas driver who started reserve early in the season. Still had the full-time seat. I think he's raced every race bar one. So it's not been an awful lot of an advantage. But still, first race in the second half of the season. And it looks like we've seen another swing in the title picture. Also, might take a swing in terms of bringing Joe into this soon enough. So Joe right now only has the one race win. He'll put himself up into 50, which is the same amount of points as Bambino at the start of play. Moves him up into the top 5, probably not into a title race by the looks of things, but still, pretty convincing drive. But look, here comes Bambino again. Bambino not out of the title picture yet. And he looks to try and get himself through. He does get himself through on Elite here. Maybe looking to go after BR4 or next. It could be possible because BR4 looks like he's struggling. He's now 2 seconds behind Heisenberg, who is either lightning quick or the other team, or his teammate BR4 is having a little bit of a problem. One of the two. Not entirely sure which one it is. Continue watching the battle between Bambino and Spectre, which currently sits at 4.5 tenths of a second. And they're up above the half a second mark now. Now it is about 2 seconds to the dot on the gap now between Heisenberg and BR4. We continue on between those two. And it doesn't look like Heisenberg doing much to take a dent out of Joe's lead at the front of this race. A safety car would make this one extremely interesting. Also bring back into it. It looks like here comes Elite to try and fight Bambino back. And right now, Bambino just about doing enough. He's actually, in fact, gaining time on Elite. DRS helping, not really doing an awful lot either. We've got two more people in DRS range, slightly further back when it comes to Ross versus Tepos versus Lewis. Currently the bottom 3 point scorers in this race in particular. Mitchell also trying to make an absolute dart for Jaguar. And here comes Elite, who's tried to go the long way with the use of DRS. Not able to do it. Bambino should be able to hold off what is left of that fight. Actually going to take a look at these coming down the straight now, and this should be easy work for Mitchell. And it is easy work for the current championship leader. He's still got a long way if he's going to score points here. He's got a three-way battle forming in the middle of the pack. Could be rather interesting by the end of this. Elite also still hanging on to the back of Bambino. Albeit it looking a little bit less and less of a challenge. Oh, Lewis might have had a little bit of a screw up there. He did. A little bit of an oversteer, I think. Yeah, and it was. And he's now 2.6 seconds. It's not going to bring Yarlow into it, but it's still an unfortunate mistake. It's a mistake that he probably didn't want to make, especially when he was close to gaining more points for his season total. But I think that's going to fall by the wayside now. He might get the one, but I don't think he gets an awful lot more. We're running out of time for a lot to happen in this race. Let's see if Bambino is going to get and I can only assume that team orders turn into a play here. Bambino has to take this position. Has to get out of the way. And he does. Oh, he's going to fight it. What? Oh, no, he's not. I was about to say, that angle looked like he was going to fight it, but he has dropped in behind his teammate now as he tries to hold up Elite a little bit longer, so he can, so his teammate can get out of the second gap. I think he's done it at this point in time, so Bambino now has a clear shot to try and engage BR4. Can Bambino take a spot on the podium? Elite also not really able to get past them. It looks like Bambino having a teammate there being able to help him magnificently right now. Elite just unable to get it done. Unable to get past. And it's hindered his chance at Bambino, which was going to look like Elite was going to strike back sooner rather than later. Well, that's also going to fall. That's going to fall by the wayside now as well. Tepos versus Ross, a battle that continues to continue on. That Lewis can't drive. I mean, it's fair enough, but he's doing enough for a point at the moment. So he's doing. If he can't drive, he's certainly just about holding on to his car for long enough. But it looks like Tepos not really able to do an awful lot right now. He's just about staying with Ross. Not really able to force anything. Is Elite going to force anything against He's not. And M's going to hold that one on for a little bit longer, and down between Tepos and Ross is still going on, and it still works out in the exact same way as it did before. As Elite going to try and send it. Looked like he got really close to him there. May have thought about it, may have backed off. Still has to pit. I'm not entirely... Well, he is going to sauce, but I'm not entirely sure that was a wise choice in the end. Elite down the inside there. That's a pretty good move. He took advantage of the speed that he had. He's got his move on up into fifth he goes. But the problem for Elite now is that is holding him up. It's held him up, sorry. Yeah, Ross with rocket fuel to keep him behind. Ross is doing a very good job right now. But has done an done arguably a better number on Elite right now, and I don't think he's going to be able to do the same sort of number to Mildy, because Mildy's about to go straight after him. Mitchell gets up 3 and gets 3. And it looks like Mildy down the inside, and Mildy's going to pick that one up with a nice late move. Going to go into the pits after 16 laps. And that might drop him further than he would have wanted. Mitchell closing in on Jack, but it's not going to be his day, and I don't think he picks up any sort of points either. Yeah, he's a long way away, Mitchell, from points right now. It looks like Mildy's going to have a good shot right now at Elite. He's going to go the long way. Elite showed him the outside, and he's got himself in front, but he's gone too deep into the corner. And the late break, he might have overestimated how late he had to brake there to get in front of Elite. It looked like he was well in front into the corner. Just a bit of a miscalculation, and Mildy may have just threw away his chance at a higher position. Maybe threw away his chance at the top 5. And Tepos still not really able to do enough to get past Ross, who definitely drove very well right now. And the numbers definitely show it. I'm currently in 7th place, Ross. He's done an excellent job for the last, maybe 6-7 laps here on Tepos. And yeah, I think Ross knows he's been in a battle, and I think Tepos is going to be a little bit frustrated at this point. Samet picked up 3 seconds, so might protect Mitchell from the guys behind him a little bit. Mitchell also clears a DRS gap on Jack. I don't think he's going to be able to catch so quickly. Yarlo is the last person in a points position right now. Mitchell directly behind him. Both have penalties and a long way back. Tepos again losing time, not really able to do an awful lot. Here comes Mildy on Elite. Down the Camel Straight once again, but I think he might be too far back to even attempt it this time. He is. And that chance of him getting that top 5 is falling away pretty quickly. Elite did enough, albeit it was probably an unforced error by Adam that caused it. Gets past Yarlo pretty quickly. Might be at the same mercy of Mitchell by the end of the straight. No, he's a little bit too far in front for that. Might be able to get himself a singular point, but the incident at the start of the race has definitely swung it in a fashion he wouldn't have wanted. And Tepos about half a second again, seemingly stuck around that mark, seemingly not being able to do anything else apart from just watch the rear end of that Alpine the entire race. Oh, Yarlo a little bit off there. A little bit of the curb. That's definitely not what you want to get there. Yarlo still searching for his first race win in ALR. He had one in Singapore last season before it was abruptly taken off of him for a I think it was a crash with Joe. Was it Singapore or was it Saudi Arabia? It was one of the two that he won. But it was taken away from him for a crash with Joe. Joe, on that point, picks up a 3-second penalty. And all of a sudden, we have a fight for the lead. With 2 laps to go, Heidelberg had a lap better tyres. And Mitchell comes into pit again, looking to take the fastest lap by the looks of things. Does take that fastest lap, bumps him up to 2 points as of now. Mitchell, I guess, just protecting the point, stopping BR4 from getting it. Mildy close again, but not really close enough. As we go with about half a second between the two. Tepos also close, but no, not close enough again on Ross. Maybe he just lunged at some point. He is running out of time to make that move. He is closer than he has been in a long while. And it is on a different note. 0.6 of a second to the front of the race. Maybe Heidelberg could hold. Maybe Heidelberg might be able to make something happen here. We've got 2 laps. Well, just over 2 laps of those two. And it's 0.9 of a second. Now, what is Heidelberg done wrong through Leblanchimont to hand Joe such an advantage? Also, Tepos has got himself a lot closer going into Leblanchimont this time. But 0.3 of a second, he's not going to be able to do it into this corner with the DRS up the straight. If he can keep himself close enough, he should be able to. Mildy needs to get another 10th or so close enough by the time he hits Eau Rouge, or out of Eau Rouge. Summit's out! It's not going to cause anything, I don't think. Yeah, it can't cause anything. But that's the first actual crash-induced DNF I've seen all day. It's a little bit too late for those hoping for a safety car to bring some sort of salvation to their race. They aren't going to get it. We were within 2 laps, so this is as it is. And now people are hoping for mistakes. And here comes Tepos, who might finally get the job done. He has the line. He is slightly in front, but Ross with the late break and a little bit of a tap. It's not clean, but he's done it. Ross had to, well, he definitely felt like he had to stick it in there just to see what he could do. And it looks like Tepos has finally managed to make the breakthrough. It's been like a chess game between the two of them all day. I think with 1.5 laps left of the race, Tepos has come out on top. But one thing's for sure, Ross has well and truly done a number on Tepos as to that's as high as he's gonna get. Mildy as well had his shot. But when you have your shot and you miss... Oh! And I think Tepos has spun it! Tepos has spun it! Oh my god! You work so hard! You win the game of chess! And then your car just snaps at the worst possible time! And it drops him out of the points entirely! Oh, Tepos, man. He had the chance, he made it work, and he's just gone and thrown it away. Oh, that's got to be gutting. That has got to be gutting. You work so hard, you can't really throw that away, and he has gone and done it. We're actually, well, lap 22 now. And I think it's as good as, well, Joe's really not had much of a pressure on him at all since Bambino made the mistake. And as soon as you make that mistake, you give the other person a huge shot at winning. Mitchell does get the fastest lap. It just detracts the point away from everyone else, doesn't give it to him. And Millsy just had his shot. He tried to come at the king. He missed wildly. But yeah. And there's 3 seconds extra for Mitchell. It just solidifies him having a bit of a problem. Mitchell's out. Up at the end of Eau Rouge. It's 0.3 of a second. 0.2 of a second. Jaguar picks up a penalty. It's still 0.2. 1.5. And I think Boba Fett's just thrown it away. And Joe does enough just at the end to win his Spa for the second time in 3 races. Just about held on at the end there, Joe. He DNF'd in Mexico. He won in China. And he's done just about enough to get it over the line. And you got BR4 rounding out a double podium for Haas. Bambino gets 4th in the end. A pretty decent recovery drive after a mistake probably ended his chance of winning the actual race and throwing his hat really into the title picture. Elite gets 5th, Mildy gets 6th, Ross gets 7th after losing the chess battle with Tepos and Tepos just handing him it back. Lewis getting 8th, gets 9th after something that happened in the first couple of laps, which, there you go, they explained it in the YouTube channel. His car just didn't pull away off the start. Yarlo gets 10th, Jack gets 11th, Tepos gets 12th after one hell of a mistake. That's one mistake you do not make. But we'll see if we can get people in for some interviews. Why then wasn't there it's easier to, why there was a safety car? There's a few crashes. There's a few crashes certainly worthy of a safety car, especially Staber's on lap 1. I'm surprised Staber's car existed after lap 1. But let's see if we can get some people into interviews. What a race, albeit. To say there was not an awful lot going on, I'm extremely surprised that that was as good of a race as it was. Belgian 100% safety car, yeah, no. I'm extremely surprised. There was a few that should have definitely been a bit of a hit. Some safety cars certainly probably should have come out. Race decided to do a hard top, there's no safety cars, yeah. Trying to buy some time, man.
So how was the race?
For surprisingly nothing happening, it was actually quite a decent race. For surprisingly little, it was surprisingly well done. What the hell happened lap 1?
He didn't brake.
Hello.
Just didn't brake, and I broke my whole front wing, and then, yeah. Just to be safe, I let everyone go. Hopefully I wasn't in the way of anyone. So yeah, race over.
Fair enough, especially with no safety cars around Belgium. I'm extremely surprised we didn't get one.
At great pace as well, but yeah. Whatever.
But yeah. Right, so Heidenberg, talk us through your race then, lad. You got second. It's obviously been a good race for you, so talk us through it.
Yeah, probably we'll start with quali. Yeah. My last attempt was compromised with broken front wing. Tempos just pushed me just in from out of pit lane. So yeah, didn't manage to put good last lap. But yeah, about race, it was good.
I already added him.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, no, go on.
Go continue on. The back. Sorry, no.
Yeah, managed to avoid any crashes, etc. Had a battle with beer, but still, yeah. I don't know. Probably it a bit cost a few tenths of the seconds, which could cost victory, but I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
continue on. Sorry.
Yeah, last stint I was pushing to be in 3 seconds of Giro. I hoped he will receive penalty. So yeah, he received, but I didn't manage to get into. Yeah, unfortunately, but. GG.
So what happened at the end there? Because you could you could obviously see the time ticking down. You got within, I think it was 1.5 tenths. Did you really think in the last 2 corners that you might have been able to get in with that hope there?
As I know, last corner is tricky one, especially on the last lap, and you can lose a bit car. So yeah, I thought about it.
And with that, then you seem to really always get into a sort of heated battle with BR4 whenever it comes to it. We've obviously seen things happen in the past. Do you just really enjoy like a proper battle with BR4, or there's something more to that?
Just enjoy. I just here for racing. So yeah.
Fair enough. And we're into the break now. Come back in Monaco. What were we expecting from you in Monaco?
I don't know really. It's really tricky track in this F1, so I don't know. I had few issues with braking, and I don't know how it could happen. Probably in the wall, but or I will just drive carefully and will be really slow. Don't know.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, Heidenberg, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Tepos, do you have voice share on? And then the
yes,
party.
I have.
Right. That means everyone should be able to hear you then. Talk us through your race. First time you've been on this, so talk us through how your race
my
went.
race was going very well. The start was really good. Got lots of positions. In the middle of the race, it was pretty boring. Was in no man's land. But yeah, and at the end I spun. It was a shame.
Yeah. Talk us through that battle between you and Ross, because it looked, the longer it went on, the more of a chess match it looked between the two of you. It was incredibly fun to watch.
Yeah, it was very close. I just waited for him to run out of ERS, and then I finally could attack him. So that was really fun, and the Mercedes behind, he got close, and at the end he was fighting with Ross, so I could drive away, so to speak.
Yeah. And then obviously you got through the chess match, you'd won it, and then the spin. What's going through your mind when you've made that mistake, and talk us how you're feeling afterwards.
Yeah, I was furious. I just couldn't believe it. It was the penultimate lap, so I don't know. But I still finished, you know. So at least that's a plus point.
Yeah, is it more a view of points dropped rather than and just trying to find a silver lining out of this one then?
Yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, it's
Does
racing.
Does this give you hope for the rest of the season then? That you might be able to push on further?
Yeah, it gives me hope that I can at least compete with the other guys now. Like the last few races, it was really bad for me. So, but it gives me hope. Yeah.
Well, I hope to be speaking to you again at some point. It's always nice to be talking to a new face within the tier. But I appreciate you coming and speaking to us. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Well, thank you.
And well, I feel like this might end up becoming a real common thing. Hello, Joe.
I hope not. I hope not.
How you doing? How was the race on your part, Joe?
Too much stress again.
Talk us through it.
Quality absolutely abysmal. The car had no stability at all. I don't know why, and I really thought there was something wrong with my controller because it just felt like the throttle was flooring it when I didn't want it to. And then twice had the Red Sea part in front of me in the race, which was quite beneficial. But yeah, other than that, it's more just kept it consistent, and I think I got what I deserved in the end of that.
What happened to Bambino? Because I saw on the minimap he was close to you until the first stint or
Spun
something.
right in front of me, and I somehow didn't hit him.
Oh, okay.
Did your eyes light up, so to speak, when you saw that happen in front of you?
Yeah, I decided because I saw Bloodwave pit, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and get past Bambino now and use the DRS and like the overspeed and get ahead, and then use that to cover Blood off. I didn't have enough overspeed. Bambino was running quite lower wings than what I thought he was, but I put him offline, and I must have just completely flustered him because he just completely messed up the second part of the chicane and then spun, and I was millimeters from tapping him.
And then the 3 seconds at the end there. Talk us through the last so many laps after you got that penalty and how close that eventually got.
Well, I had a suspicion that from lap 2 I'd been given a double warning because the notification came up twice, which I might actually still report it. I know warnings can't be removed, but at the end of the day, it's one of them where I've gone off the track. Yes, have I gained an advantage? Yes, but why should I be cautioned twice?
As a man who's been hit off track and has got given a warning, they won't remove it.
Yeah, it was one of them, and then when I got the warning, I was like, okay, I did get a double, and it was just, right, I've still got pace in these tyres, evident by the fact that I set 2 personal bests in the final 3 laps with absolutely no ERS. I had the pace to keep the 3-second gap. I know I did, and if anyone rewatches my stream, you can see the emotion completely flood out at the end, because that was very, very important.
Yeah, and now you're on 50, and some of the guys in front of you are seemingly losing grip. So there's crashing into each other by the looks of things. If there is still a chance for you there when it comes to a title, if there is still.
I'm not going to say anything, but about actually fighting for it. But if we hadn't had the issues that I had in Mexico last week, I do think I would have won that race because I had everything by qualifying. I had enough pace to win that race. There's a 25-point plus for me. You're minus another 7 off Mitchell. That's a 32-point swing. That would have been. I would have been 3 points behind him after today. So,
I think the calendar goes back and forth as well, because I think we have Monaco and then Baku. So Monaco, me, Baku, you.
No, you're surprised about Monaco. I feel like I have enough pace around Monaco to at least challenge on the wheel, or challenge people on the wheel.
Oh, I thought you were on Pat. Oh my bad. I always remember you on Pat.
Every other race, I think it's no evidence that I'm the quickest person around Baku.
Yeah.
Zandvoort, I'm very, very quick as well. Portimao, we saw in Race of Champions, and just how much pace I had around there.
Yeah, you can have that one.
But we'll see. It's.
I think BR4 is in the lead.
BR4 came third today.
If I were to win every race to the end of the season, and Mitchell's
we have a
jeopardy. Every single one, I would win the title on countback.
Oh damn!
Yeah, he just about is. He's on 89.
Something happened in Tier 4. I'm not entirely sure. Saeed just said they have jeopardy in Tier 4, and half the lobby was kicked. Why?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
But why?
The amazing F1 servers.
Trying to find out what is going on. They're trying to find out. They were kicked on lap 15 of 22, and they're trying to find out who won.
That's not 75% race distance, is it?
No.
15?
15 of
Yeah.
11. Yeah, you need 17 for.
Yeah.
That's a mass disconnect. Race needs to be repeated. Oh!
If they want.
You
Oh
could just
god,
double half
imagine
one.
doing Spa twice.
Oh
Just a
God, I can't even be bothered to do it once, and I have to do it on Sunday. But still,
What wings were you running, Joe, actually?
10-9.
Oh damn, that's high.
Yeah, exactly. BR4 had my setup. I don't understand how he could not extract the pace out of that setup. Because that was the best setup.
Because
I
it's
think today.
BR4.
But literally, I think in TT, you were 3/10. You were 3/10 quicker than me through sector 1.
Yeah.
You were a 10th quicker through sector 3, but my sector 3 there's a 10th in it. So I'd say that's equal. I was 8/10 quicker than you through the middle sector.
Yeah, I know. We lost on pole today, though. Huh?
Races aren't won on Saturday.
That is very true. Races are won by not getting killed.
what actually happened? Like,
Yeah, I don't
properly?
know. Staber just didn't brake.
See, what I just because I didn't see it until the very last second.
Staber just didn't brake. I
Once
braked on
again,
Bambino like always, and he just
When
didn't
you came-
brake.
When
I
you
was
came
just-
back on, that was a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, I know. I tried to do it safely, but there's no way to do it that safely. Yeah. I did my best. I even went into gravel for most of the guys.
I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the
You-
stream here. In a bit to stream.